Okay, I have things recording. Good. So, I'm broke, but I was playing 1943 on NES, and I was thinking, I've I'm not really all that familiar with arcade games past I don't know 1982, I think. So I want to play the arcade version of this. It turns out it's from 1987. The NES version is from '88, and I had a really good time with it. That was the first time I got the arcade emulator MAME to work. So I was like, you know what? Let's have my own arcade cab for that. I looked on eBay, or just online in general, and yeah, to heck with the prices for actual 1943 arcade cabs. So I went and built my own bad one. As you can see, I have this 13 inch in quotes, um, monitor, CV VCR combo, sideways on top of this coffee table that I just kind of had in here, with an NES Advantage and a jank adapter. And then this monitor I actually blew the composite input on, so down here, let me get some video of that. Down here we have a VCR that I power up when I want to use it because for RF out to convert the composite video signal to RF. And then all the way in the back here is so as you guys know, I got a laptop, and this PC, it was really jank and had some issues. And so I'm not really using that now. So I have that set up back here to launch MAME automatically when Windows starts up. So yeah, I think let's power it up. And yeah, I do have other games set up on here. I have other ROMs that I'm toying with. The only other game I have actually set up is another Capcom game, Commando, which I'm a lot less good at than 1943. I wouldn't say I'm good at either, but also a fun thing with this NES Advantage, very useful for games like that. Turbo buttons. I have the Turbo B button pretty much always set to on, and then just holding it through while I'm playing the games. So yeah, let's get this powered up. Yeah. I'm not gonna go into how I set up MAME to output good on this and work properly. It took quite a bit of finicking. But yeah, here you go. Yeah, it's just. I don't think I've ever tried to play a tape sideways, but I don't want to ruin a tape or something, so I'm not going to try right now. Okay, power up the VCR. And then the screen goes black, and then we will power up this, and then it goes exploded on. It just goes completely bright rainbow on both cameras because both of these are not of the best quality. One is integrated webcam in my laptop, and the other one's a cheap webcam I bought for live streaming purposes a while ago that I didn't end up really using all that much. So she's kind of been sitting around. But I found a use for it, so I'm using it for this. But yeah, if I bring this closer, it does not cooperate with this monitor. Turns out it can only go to 30 FPS, so yeah, it can't really sync with a 60Hz monitor at all. So you're gonna see this every time you're looking at it. I don't see this at all. I just see regular monitor. Get this chair a bit closer to set this webcam on here. Yeah, looks nice. Okay. Press F1. This computer's kind of weird. It randomly one time it detected that I had the back off of it, and now it won't stop doing that. Probably because I still have the back off it. But even when I tried putting it back on, it still did that. So you have to press F1 to go past that. You could also do system diagnostics and stuff like that, but I don't need to. So Windows should be loaded at this point. Yep. Let me put in my password. Don't tell anyone, it's something. SOMETHING. The password on here is something. No caps or anything. Don't tell anyone, it's completely a secret. But yeah, basically I wanted this arcade cab. Yep, there's my background. So Windows has gone up. It will load into MAME in just a bit. Yeah, I wanted to build this arcade cab. It's just I have a budget of $0, so I cobbled together a bunch of random parts from around, and yeah, I got this. It's kind of jank, but also it's kind of awesome as well. So yeah, MAME should be loaded soon. I think I just saw it. I'll give it another few seconds just to be sure it doesn't do some very jank that it likes to do. But yeah, so this is kind of a tutorial on how to make a arcade cab if you have like no budget basically, or very low budget. Like I'll give you a rundown of the parts of like I bought this VCR at Goodwill. Computer was given to me. So was this monitor. I was over at a family friend's house, helping them clean or something. I forget what it was. It might have been weeding. And they were like, "Hey, you want it?" We don't use it. And I was like, "Sure." So I got that. NES Advantage. Bought it for cheap on eBay. Mouse pad down here. Not strictly necessary. I just found it around the house. Other converters and cables and bits. Bought for cheap or found for cheap or just whatever. So yeah, let's try to go in 1943 now. Hey, did it. It's not having jank. Press space twice and bam. There we go. And now we're in 1943, the arcade version. This probably could do emulations of a lot of other stuff, but I'm not that talented at getting MAME to work. It was a pain enough to get this to work. So yeah. It's not at all like arcade accurate. I just have it so joystick, you move. A, B, self-explanatory, and then select puts in a credit, and start is one player start, because I haven't added a second player to this. So yeah, basically I just have infinite credits. I went and saw the ending to this game last night while working on setting this up. Because I just played to stage 16 or so. I think it might have been the end of 15. But yeah, so played for a while last night. Got to see the ending, but that's only because I had infinite continues basically. But yeah, so basically what I did is I just grabbed this PC I wasn't using and hooked it up to a spare monitor. You can use a CRT, but they're kind of expensive right now. You probably would want to use a 4.3 LCD monitor you could find for cheap at Goodwill. If it has a DVI input, you could get a converter for that. I think also you can get a converter from HDMI to VGA. Or to, if it just has HDMI, then yeah. But if you have a composite monitor like this, you can just get a cheap converter. This one costs like $7 and has lasted me a good 2 years. Still going strong. Going with this. And, so you can just get a cheap converter to go from HDMI to composite. NTSC or PAL, it doesn't care. You can just switch what it outputs. You can switch if it outputs NTSC or PAL on the box itself. And then you can hook it up to this. This TV doesn't have a working composite input, so what I did is I went and put that through an old VCR to convert that to RF. And honestly, this signal doesn't look half bad for being converted so many times. So yeah, there's that. And then I just have the keyboard and mouse set up under here on top of the VCR. not strictly necessary, but the way I have this set up, you need to use at least you need to use the keyboard to navigate stuff. I could probably remove the mouse. But you need the keyboard to press F1, type in the password, and go into 1943 once it's in MAME. And then for controller, you see I have this NES Advantage. We bought a cheap NES to USB adapter a while back, like a really while back, I think before I started my YouTube channel. But it got here and it turned out to be an SNES one. So it just sat around for ages, and eventually I went and modified it to be an NES one because it uses the same protocol just with more pins. So I janked on an NES connector, and I put an NES Advantage in because, it's an arcade stick. So I put it on my arcade cab. And then coffee table, just random coffee table. You could put it on whatever you want. I'm planning to make this more professional at some time, or even get a real arcade cab at some point, but that's definitely not happening now. But yeah. But yeah, don't look at the LCD monitor, the widescreen monitor back here that's built onto the PC. It's an all-in-one. Don't look at it. You can't really, but if you come out and look at it, it's really stretched and also sideways. That's how I got the arcade look for this monitor, because since this is 4:3, if it was a regular aspect, it wouldn't reach all the way to the top and bottom. So I just told MAME to ignore holding the aspect ratio, so it looks terrible on there, but this stretches it to about the right size because this is 4:3. And then it's sideways, so I get the full, arcade viewing experience. And yeah, so let's play some 1943 here. Hopefully the sound's coming through okay. It's decent. It's just the PC's inbuilt speakers. Like, not all that great, but decent enough. Doesn't really matter, since I built this thing from random spare parts I had around. And hey, I actually get to use my my NES Advantage for an actual arcade game, which is fun, especially a shooter. As I don't tend to play a lot of shooters on NES. They tend to be quite compromised to fit the hardware. But no, playing the actual arcade version is quite fun and quite good. But yeah, you can see I'm getting my money's worth out of the turbo here. I'm also doing horribly because I'm trying to talk over this and stuff. Oof, already at low health. Oh, dang it, I missed the Yashichi. I'll beat this stage and then I'll stop talking, or I'll stop playing and I'll get back to explaining about things. Although I think I've explained pretty good just about all the stuff I need to. Oh man, I'm doing horrible. Real bad here. Oh, and there I go. Okay. Oh, give me that. That power-up's necessary, the three-way. There we go. Get this man over here. This is... We need to focus on the big warship. Hey, I got the full big explosion. Okay. And it's really cool looking screens here that are not in the NES version at all, because, you know, that would take way too much ROM space. So yeah, I'll just let that play, I don't care. But yeah, I think that's mostly it. It's just, you know, if you want to build a decent arcade cab on a budget, you can go throw a bunch of these parts together, or similar parts. It doesn't have to be exactly this. It's just what I happen to have, because I'm broke. It's the whole reason why I built the thing. I can't pay, like, $1,000 or $2 for a for an actual working arcade cab from this time period. So, yeah, if you're also broke, you can do this. Oh, I get to put my name. Hold on. That's the most important. Let's see. It's B to do that. D O. Oh no. Oh man. Oh. D O M. Yeah. Got it in. Sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes I miss input. Let's see. Will it show my score that I just got? I don't know. It probably won't. Sometimes it just doesn't. If it does, I'll point the other camera at it. But yeah, so yeah, that's about it. If you want to build a cheap arcade cab, this is kind of how you do it. You kind of have to emulate it, although you can get it looking decently close to how it would have looked in an arcade. Similar-ish sized monitor to what would be in an arcade cab, and the weird vertical orientation and stuff. The RF weirdness is not at all how it would look. I've never seen like an actually high quality CRT display in person. I've never seen like an RGB one. At least not something like that's this detailed. I've seen a couple arcade cabs in person. Saw Miss Pac-Man and a PlayChoice 10 at the game shop where we bought my NES. And that looked just outstanding. But I've never seen something like this that would but I bet that would just look absolutely incredible, super crisp. But I'm fine with the RF for now. If I ever feel the need to upgrade this TV to RGB, and somehow convert HDMI to analog RGB, then I'll, see this a bit better, I guess, I don't know. Or use, like, this TV, which has S-Video, which I've heard is really good. Or use this TV behind me, that I'm not really showing, but, this massive thing that needs repair. It's a widescreen TV, so it wouldn't work well with this on its side. It'd be stretched, or I'd just have it like this. I doubt I could get it on its side, it's so heavy. But, it'd probably break something inside it. But that one actually has DVI input, so I could get I could buy or fabricate a converter cable between HDMI and DVI and get just an outstanding computer monitor out of this. That is a CRT, by the way. It's a rear projection one. Probably has some amount of lag, but yeah, from like 2003, 4, I think. I don't remember what the date is on the back, and I don't want to bring it out to look at it right now. I'll buy some replacement parts for it soon, but that's getting completely off topic of this video. Basically, I did a thing. It was fun. Highly recommend you do it yourself. I've never really messed around with arcade stuff before, but I'm really interested in it now. From having this experience of trying to play 1943 and building an arcade cab for it. I would show you Commando, but I don't have any confidence in my ability to menu through blind right now. I think what I'll do in the future is get it to display on this monitor as well, instead of just that one, so I can see what I'm actually doing. That might be helpful. Yeah, so I think that's about all. Let me shut things off. Just reach back there, press the power button. it stays on this test pattern no signal screen for a while and then shuts off. Man, this webcam really does not want to stay put. You know what? You get to look there. So yeah, and then I turn the VCR off. You see the static, and yeah, everything is off now. As you can see, though, the power strip that has all this stuff, it's a bit full. It has 4 things plugged into it. 3 of these are for the arcade cab. This is this first one is the TV, the second one is the computer, and the third one is the VCR. This fourth one is the charger for my laptop so it doesn't die, and so I can reach it to my bed easily, but that's just me being lazy. It doesn't have to be there. Probably should move it to another outlet at some point. But yeah, so also sorry for not posting to my channel in almost 2 weeks. I got caught up with stuff, especially because my mom went to California to visit family, which very happy for her. She was in a pretty bad job experience. I probably shouldn't mention that. But yeah, she was just recouping from some stuff, visiting family, and yeah. So I was just not really making content during that. So hopefully Deadly Towers mapping stream will be on, what day is it? I don't know, the 13th or the 14th. No, I'm going to say the 14th or the 15th, because the 13th is tomorrow, and I'm too lazy to be on top of my stuff. I need to clean my room before that happens anyway. There's stuff all over, because that happens when I don't care. So yeah, thanks for watching my video. Hopefully this can be somewhat useful if you want to build your own arcade cab like this. Yeah, so...